I always look back at my life as rather something of a very simple one. There wasn't anything extraordinary in how I came to discern or understand what God was asking me. My family belonged to St. Rocco since 1970, and we were accepted here by Mercedarian Father Andrew Costanzo. He was the pastor at the time, and St. Rocco was all Italian. It was all Italian. It was a personal ethnic Italian parish. And at that time, the neighborhoods were changing, and St. Rocco had a kindergarten, a Catholic kindergarten. And the other Catholic schools around us did not. And so my parents wanted us to go to Catholic kindergarten. And I was the oldest of two sons. And so I was the guinea pig, so to speak. So I was sent into school at St. Rocco's. And that's really where it all began, because had not Father Andrew welcomed our family into the parish to go to the school, and then eventually because of school just getting involved, my mother, especially in the PTU and the different sodalities and functions, I don't know if we'd be here today. So my father was always grateful to Father Andrew. And in kindergarten at the school here, we had sisters, but we also had the friars, and the friars would be around the schoolyard, and they would be in the school building. And one friar in particular, Brother Richard Henry, he taught religion in the kindergarten and the first and second grades. And so he was a gigantic man at that time. You're a little 5-year-old, and so he was so tall and in the white habit, and that it really made an impression on me. And then he would give medals out of Our Lady of Mercy to all the children. And I always kept that medal. And as the years went on, my family was a very devout Catholic family with my great aunts and uncles and my grandparents. Everyone was just a very strong Catholic culture. And my brother and I were altar boys, and we were always around the parish and helping out and riding our bikes around the neighborhood and so forth. But I was always attracted to the friars and how they lived, what they did, talking with them. There was never reason not to be, to approach them. You were never afraid of them. You just, wanted to talk to them because they were just so kind to us. So I dare say it was during high school, I started to think about it and what to do, because you have to make decisions. And I was in a Catholic high school here in Cleveland. And so I started to talk to a priest. And he was the chaplain at Holy Name High School where I was, Father Mark Hollis, a great guy. And he was helping me to discern. I did not want to be a priest. I wanted to be a brother. I felt called to be a brother. And then a family friend of ours, Father John Cregan, both of these priests are from the Diocese of Cleveland. They both helped me in my journey to understand what the Lord was calling me to. And they both encouraged me to go to the Diocese of Cleveland. And they wanted me to pursue that and go to the diocese, go to the seminary. And yet, because of my experience of family life, now this was back in the late 70s and early 80s already, and diocesan priests were already starting to live alone because of the lack of numbers and personnel. And so I kept thinking, I would miss family life. I like family life. And so I saw how the friars lived, and I saw the young friars at that time. They were students. They'd come for Easter or the summertime to work at the parish, and then we'd go out for ice cream, or we'd go to a movie and do things, or go to a baseball game and so forth. And so then I made application. It was the summer of my senior year in high school. And so I was not 18, and so my mother and a very good friend, they drove me out to Philadelphia, and I made a visit to the friars there. And I remember my mother had to sign the papers because I was not 18 so that I could pursue the application process. But I was all gung-ho. And then during my senior year of high school, there were just some ups and downs, so to speak. And there was the passing of my grandmother and other close relatives, and it just was an emotionally difficult time. And so I waited a year, and I was working already I I was working at Kmart. It was a great job. I loved it there. And then I was also doing janitorial here at the parish. So, and then I was going to the community college. So I waited a year and kept myself busy, enjoyed some time with my family and friends and so forth. And then after a year of continued discernment, I reapplied and went in, and this time with the understanding that God was calling me to be a priest. So I began my studies in Philadelphia in 1984 at the seminary and lived at our house of formation on Drexel Road. And I spent the next 7 years in Philadelphia enjoying Overbrook at St. Charles Seminary. After completing my studies and having gone through the novitiate, made my vows, and the superiors, they sent me to Rome, and I did not want to go, but I went, and I completed not only my studies in theology, but then my licentiate from the Lateran University. And then the roller coaster of religious life just continued. So God bless you now. Bye-bye.